How you guys doing? This is very important in reference to the history of America. Now, this satellite man had claimed that he damaged my teeth because he claimed that he was from a family of black slaves, is what one of the satellite controllers tried to communicate. He claimed that his family was able to pull a plow that would dig cotton for planting 6 to 8 inches in the dirt, in soft field dirt. Of a plow, the average plow back then weighed over 100 pounds, weighed probably 150 pounds or 200 pounds. Now, this person needs to go on television. We need the news networks and all the news networks to visually see this two-legged man claiming that his family or him, somebody from his relative history, claimed that they pulled a plow to plant crops 4 inches into the ground, or 8 inches, the particular depth that crops have to be planted. Now they'll say something stupid. Somebody will say something stupid like, "Oh, well, people had to plant." Well, white people had to plant crops too. My parents did not hire slaves. My father had court cases. Anybody accusing my family of slavery must get arrested. There are Congress documents, there's Supreme Court documents, and Treasury documents that my father would not hire slaves. My parents hired people after slavery was over, but they did not hire slaves during slavery. They hired people that was free from slavery at certain companies or certain places. Do not forget, every African American or any other race that tried to call my family slave drivers, you have to get arrested. They need to arrest every person. I'm not playing your games, man. I'm the only child of my mother and father, and black people was not the first people in this country. This country already had cities built, like European cities, before African Americans came into America. The NAACP, you are obligated to arrest these liars that are trying to steal my mother and father's estates, if they are African Americans that are saying these things. If Barack Obama is trying to accuse my family of slavery or tried to call me a racist, he needs to go into court. And why don't you check to see if I'm the owner of BET music station or media station? Some people might figure out that I might be the owner of BET since it began. Why don't you check that information? And hello, Motown, and hello, black friends, and white friends, and Asian friends, and European friends. But this is very important. This satellite man, or one of these satellite controllers, has tried to claim that he thought that Americans didn't do nothing in this country before blacks ever came into this country. Now, I'm friendly with black people. I've had black girlfriends, I've had Asian girlfriends, European girlfriends, and other, I don't date Germans or Middle Easterners. Now, this might be a plot of the Germans or the Middle Easterners, and some people say that Barack Obama had ties illegally with India and the Middle East, and they were trying to murder celebrities in Hollywood to try to steal BET. These people was trying to steal Hollywood, whoever these people are. It needs to get investigated. If Barack Obama has damaged my teeth or burnt me or tried to injure me or shot at me or tried to murder me in any fucking way or caused me any problems, he must get put on trial for treason. So in reference to the facts of information, no matter what, I'm not going to let you try to drag me down into your lies. I'm the owner of my mother and father's estates. My grandparents had owned land for hundreds and hundreds of years, and great-grandparents, before African Americans even came into America. Don't forget that. And my grandmother, or one of my great-grandmothers, look up the information of my great-grandmother is the one that made the American flag. The first American flag that was in America. And someone say, well, what about the Indians? Indians are tropical people. The Mayans came from a tropical environment. America does not have tropical areas. Do you understand what that means? Like tropical rainforests. The Mayans came from a tropical rainforest. Look at the history. They didn't come from this type of environment. So the Middle East and the people that claim that they're native Indians, they came from a tropical environment. That is why their pigmentation of their anatomies are that color. Do you understand that? African Americans came from more of a tropical rainforest type of environment. This is not saying anything bad about African Americans being in America, but in reference to any African American accusing me of racism, you have to go to court. You are obviously working for the Middle East, or you're working for the Nazis, or you're working for some criminal in Africa that's trying to steal American land. Whoever you're working for has to be revealed. All the names, all the identities of every person and their games of trying to slander my character. You need to go to court. You'll have freedom of speech to say what you want to say in court. But going around making up lies to steal land and to try to murder Americans is very un-American. And you can lose your citizenship, and they can deport you and your family and all your friends. I've had black friends since I was a little boy. I've been on TV and movies when I was a little boy, when there had been black people on the shows. Now, don't play stupid. You'll say, well, they probably had small roles. What do you mean, small roles? Do you think this is Africa? There has to be categorized films, categorized things. You think everybody's got to move out of the way because you're black? I have black friends that don't agree with anything you would say. You think because you're black, everybody's got to move out of your fucking way? What do you own in this country? Your lies are trespassing into people's lives, and some of my black friends would like to see you in court. You think because you're black and you make up lies, or you're African or African American or Middle Eastern African or whatever you're mixed with, you thought you would make up lies about Americans. And that was your trick for covering up your shortcomings or covering up your lack of effort of education. Or it's some other thing. You're trying to steal land, or you're trying to steal companies, or you're trying to steal property, or you're trying to steal people's identities, or you're trying to steal the upper class of wealth. You're obviously violating something with your tricks. My family was not slave drivers, and you have to go to court, no matter who you are. Any black man in this country that ever called me a racist must go into court. And don't even try that racist thing where you're trying to say, well, black people wanted this. Well, that's not owned by black people. I'm the rightful owner. That's not owned by other people either. That's not owned by other whites either. It's owned by me. I'm the owner. Not giving up land to other whites, not giving up land to blacks, not giving up land to nobody. I'm the only child of my mother and father. And any African American or any other race that ever tried to call me a racist was always trying to steal from me, always trying to frame me, always trying to steal my identity, always trying to steal my revenues from black music or white music or any kind of music, or movies or performing in arts, in movies or television. You're going to need to go to court, whoever you are. No matter who anybody is. You are trying to hide your hidden agenda as your way of trying to murder me to steal my land and property and wealth. And you must go to court, no matter what race you are, no matter what religion you are. And I still have black friends, and Asian friends, and Italian friends, and European friends, and some other countries too. So in reference to your racism trick, it is on court records that my mother and father and grandparents did not hire slaves. And it's predated. My family hired people in job positions later, after slavery, but they wouldn't hire people as slaves. Don't forget, my parents employed the most people in this country before slavery. My grandparents did before slavery. And I have black friends and I have other types of friends of different races. And they're probably upset with your lies, your tricks, and your fucking immaturity of you trying to blame people for owning companies where you claimed you couldn't be a star, you couldn't be a celebrity, or you couldn't be big money or something. You know, there's a lot of people who have seniority in this country. A lot of people's worked in jobs for a long time. A lot of people's done good work. You don't have a right making up racism because jobs are filled by other whites of European heritage, or because jobs are filled by Asians or any race. That's just the facts, man. Now, see, the government is responsible for some things in reference to supplying money to people in America because of lack of jobs and other situations. And, you know, in reference to people working, the government is supposed to supply extra money for wages, too, in America. They're supposed to subsidize. Now, that's kind of another subject of information in reference to the Treasury and the Supreme Court and Congress and some other places. But in reference to any person slandering my character, calling me a racist, you must get arrested. I'm not playing nobody's tricks, man. You're trying to steal trillions of dollars of my land, trillions of dollars of my mother and father and grandparents' estates. That sound like man made me burp, which I am the owner of. That's sexual assault too, against the satellite man for making me burp just now. And the teeth damage is sexual assault too. And the satellite man, whoever they are, must get arrested for their crimes, no matter what race they are. See, in reference to my mother and father's estates, I've been the owner since I was a little boy. And my parents worked at the companies as executives, even after they had gave me the estates. So in reference to people and their racism, go to court. People making up racism lies to try to swindle land or to try to swindle monies or property from me, you can end up in prison and you can get deported, and your friends can get deported, your family can get deported, your whole organization can get deported. Don't forget, Europe had cities before a lot of other countries. Asia had cities. Don't forget, certain people in certain countries had certain styles of living that was kind of primitive compared to European or American construction or Asian construction. So basically, whoever you are, if you're stealing any of my money, if you're blocking me from my mother and father's mansions, or if you're conspiring against me, you need to go to court. Or they can send police over to your location and have you arrested. I'm not the bad guy. I've had different types of friends growing up. You try to blame me for slavery or anything, you can get arrested. And you can sit your ass in prison until they deport you. You might go to prison 20, 30, 50 years. They might even build a new prison. Just depends on how many people are making up lies. I'm the owner of my mother and father's estates. I have friends of different races and religions of friendliness. I'm not Christian or German or Middle Eastern at all. Catholic and Jewish. So in reference to, Catholic history, the Vatican, and other acknowledgments of friendliness, whoever the person is making up lies, you need to go to court. And you're going to lose. And you'll probably get deported. Now, how many people are trying to make up these lies? 50, 100,000, 200,000, a million? Shit. What does that mean? A million Asians move into America if they have to deport a million blacks? that are racist criminals trying to steal my mother and father's estates. I'm friendly with people. I've had black friends for a long time, and none of my friends ever acted like that. Some black people even knew me when I was a little boy, even before when I was in a coma. And there was people that was friendly back then, too. So in reference to people making up shit, or, Europeans might move into America, more English or French or Italian, or whichever. But either way, I'm not going to play with nobody making up racism on me. I've had black girlfriends. You're probably just jealous because some of my black girlfriends are prettier than any girl you ever dated. Why don't you look up and see? Somebody else my mouth. Why don't you look up and quit assuming that you thought that your black girlfriends was prettier than my black girlfriends. Don't forget, some of my black girlfriends have been some of the highest ranking supermodels. And my white girlfriends and European girlfriends too, Or some of them are music singers, or some of them are, been in certain acknowledgments of the media. And hello, sports world, and hello, athletes and friendly people. Lots of things of importance. This is very important. But you need to get one of the plows from whenever this man claimed his family was slaves. And what crops did this man say that he was a slave of? And they need to get the news network out there to visually watch this two-legged man try to pull a plow. My family had the most horses in America. Do you understand what that fucking means, man? Don't forget it. My grandfathers had the most horses. Plus, my grandfathers created farm tractors. You better get your facts right, man. Because it looks like you're going to fucking prison. And you better tell people what black artists I have sang as, even when I was a little boy. So you better watch your racism, government man. Black music, white music, all the different types of music I sang, all the different types of movies and TV shows I was in. When I had to wear a costume or I had to wear a disguise. Somebody needs to tell these people what black artists I have performed as. You might be surprised or you might not. You better get it right, government man. You need to show up in court. Looks like you're the liar, you're the con artist, you're the thief, and you're the fucking racist. And you're disrespecting rights of ownership. You need to go to court, man.